All right, what up, y'all? So today I got a different kind of a video. I'm going to be talking about everything or the biggest things that I've learned by working with artists for over 10 years, okay? I've worked with dozens and dozens of artists, guys. I've had hundreds of songs come out that I've produced. I've recorded hundreds, if not thousands of songs for artists. So I have a really good grasp on what artists are looking for specifically in a producer, what is important when you're working with the artist, how to cultivate those relationships to ultimately grow, make great music, and get paid for the work that you're doing. All right, so I'm gonna go over a handful of things. I think it's gonna be really good, helpful information for you. If you haven't worked with artists, if you're newer to working with artists, or if you've been doing it for a minute, I still believe there's gonna be valuable information in here for you. So here we go. All right, the first practical thing that I would say is when it comes to making beats for artists, and I preach this over and over on my channel, simplicity is key. Less is more. Artists don't want the most complicated beats. If you're making beats for an artist, remember, you're only making half the song. You don't need a full product. If your product sounds full and complete, it's probably not going to get used by an artist because they're the one who fills it in, completes it, and really brings it to life, right? You do the stencil, they color it in. All right, so I've learned that artists really value a relationship with their producer. They don't just want somebody who sends them beats in their email and all they know of you is, oh, that's that guy who I get beats from in my email. They don't want that, bro. They want to invest in a relationship and be like, hey, that's my producer. Like, boom, he's got a good heart. Like, we chop it up. Like, I can call him when I'm going through stuff, vice versa. Like, they really value a relationship. And as a producer, you should value that too. Not everything should be transactional. Actually, most of the time, things should not be transactional. When you're working with an artist, you want to actually get to know them. And when you get to know them and really invest in who they are, as opposed to just their music, you'll actually make better music with them. That goes into my next tip, which is when you're working with the artist or when you want to work with the artist, study their catalog, study their music. What kind of sounds are they using? What kind of genres are they doing? What BPMs and keys are they comfortable in, right? You want to really study the artist so that when you make stuff, it can be really tailored to them. Artists like custom beats that are tailored to them. They don't just want cookie cutter, beats that you just make and send out with no thought about. Like, imagine if I'm working with an artist who does like primarily R&B and I just send them a random like drill beat. They're gonna be like, bro, did you even like listen to what I make? Like, do you even know what I'm into? Like, and then they're gonna feel like, dang, this guy really don't care about me. This producer really don't care. So be intentional when you're making beats for artists and really curate them to the artist individually. When you're getting to know a new artist, don't just jump in and talk about money off rip, right? If the first thing you say to an artist is, yo, I'm selling beats for $250 a pop right now, you're hard, hit me up if you want beats, $250 a pop. It's like, that might work like 1 out of every 300 times. It might work, right? It might, but my experience is that actually turns the artist off away from you. And they're like, dang, this guy he just wants sales. He don't care about nothing else but the money. Money is important, right? When you're producing, you want to make money, of course. Like, that's important. I'm not going to neglect that. But when you're trying to build a relationship with the artist, money comes after, right? You build the relationship, you make sure your visions are aligned, and then you make some music that sounds incredible, right? And then you figure out the money stuff. And you can have money talks up front. Like, once you've built that relationship and you're sending them beats, like, yeah, don't be scared to say like, hey, I sell them for like $250 a pop. Like, let me know which out of these pack that you want, and I got you. Like, you can talk about it, but don't just come out of the gate gunning. That's not good. You don't want to do that. All right, this is a huge tip. All right, do everything you can to help the artist you're working with. Okay, so if I'm a producer, sure, I can get the artist on fire beats. I can send them fire beats. But you know what not every producer can do? Edit their reels for them, give them content ideas, hold them accountable with their content and helping them find a drop schedule, right? I can do cover art for them, right? I can collab post with them. I can mix for them. I can master their music. You want to bring everything that you can to the table to help the artist to further their goal, right, is so much more than just sending out beats, right? You are trying to be that Swiss Army knife tool that they need in order to get where they're trying to go with music, okay? They can get beats from YouTube, right? But can you get someone who makes you custom beats, edits your reels, helps you find a drop schedule, helps you promote your music, does your cover art? No, you cannot find all that from YouTube from one person. That's a really big tip, guys. My advice to you is do everything you can to add value to the artist. And sometimes that value is just encouragement and conversation and checking in. Yo, you plan on dropping anytime soon? Yo, that song you sent me is really hard, bro. You got to put that thing out. That thing is fire. Like, drop that thing, bro. I'll comment on it. I'll repost it. I'll share it. Like, people got to hear that. That's the type of time you want to be on when you're working with artists, man. Okay, another big tip that I have is don't be Hollywood on either side of it. What do I mean by that? Look, if you produce for long enough, you're going to end up working with people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions of followers. All right, I know it happened for me. And honestly, a lot of producers, when they get introduced to that artist, they're going to act weird. They're going to be like, oh, can I get a picture? I remember the first time I got in a studio session with an artist who had hundreds of thousands of followers. I didn't ask him for a picture. Are you kidding me? What, I'm a fanboy out right here? No, don't be Hollywood. Whether it's an artist with 10 followers or 10 million, it's, hey, I'm in here to make the best music I can with you. I'm in here to bring your vision, your goal, your dream to life, right? No matter who they are. Always treat people with respect. Always treat the artist you're working with the same level of respect. And yes, there is, when it comes to money and things of that sort, sure, you might have a different dynamic with an artist who's really got bread like that as opposed to one who isn't, right? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying how you treat them in person, in session, through text message, on the phone. Don't be Hollywood. At the same time, like I said, there's two sides to that coin. When you're a producer and you got a little something going, smaller artists reach out to you. Don't just brush them off and blow them off and be like, oh, I worked with so-and-so who had 100,000 followers. I don't need to work with you. You only got 800 followers. Like, don't be Hollywood on that type of time. Like, you never know, the artist who's got 800 followers, who's trying to hit you up, who might not be able to pay for the beat up front, but is willing to do a payment plan with you. They might be the next Juice WRLD. You really don't know. Like, you really don't know. Okay. So treat everyone the same, man, with the same level of respect and dignity. Okay. All right. Here's another big one that I have for you guys. All right. Don't sell yourself short. Okay. As a producer, when you're first getting into this thing, you will be tempted to undervalue your product for the sake of just trying to make some sales, right? I remember I went through a season when I was selling exclusive beats for dirt cheap. And I don't regret it because I actually made some great relationships through that, by God's grace. But at the same time, when I look back, I can go, man, that probably was not the wisest thing for me to do. Artists value your work same way that you value your work. If you believe your product is worth a lot, so a man think, so he is. You're gonna make a product that's worth a lot. If you believe your product is worth $30, you're going to be making a $30 product, and then artists are going to go, I don't really want that beat, man. That's a $30 beat. He don't even believe that his beat is worth more than $30. Like, I ain't trying to hop on that. I'm going to go buy this beat from this dude who's selling it for $300 because that thing's a hit. If he's selling it for $300, it's got to be a hit. It means other people are buying it for $300 from him. You see what I'm saying? So it's a psychological thing as well as even like a real thing of like, if you undervalue yourself, you will be undervalued. That's just what it is, right? And you will eventually, if you undervalue yourself, you will get used and you will get tied up into relationships where you're like feeling dependent on these artists who are literally using you. And then that's like low-key like a toxic, like abusive like relationship. I'm being a little dramatic, but not really. Like, it's really crazy like that. So yeah. And my final tip is this. Try to work with artists who you really think are fire, who you really believe in their music, who you really think are going places, who you really rock with, because then you don't have to be fake at all. They're not going to send you a song and you have to go, oh yeah, that's hard, when you're lying to them because you don't actually think it's hard. You can go, dang, this song's freaking crazy. That's real. I work with artists who send me songs, man, every song they send me, I'm like, bro, I ain't even trying to gas you up. That thing's crazy. I ain't trying to gas you up. That thing is fire. Like, everything you sent me for the past 2 years, fire. Heat. And they might have that one song where I'm like, hey man, honestly, I'm not really feeling that as much, but like, I trust your vision. I trust your sound. You want artists who you can be real with, and you don't want to have to be fake when artists send you back music on your songs. So work with fire artists to begin with. Reach out to people who you actually think are dope. All right, man. So those are a lot of the big tips and pieces of advice that I have from my experience in working with artists over the years as a producer myself, as a recording engineer, mixing, mastering, whatever it be. Okay, if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. Comment down below what you would like to see. Make sure you subscribe, guys. I'm on the road to 1K. I'm really trying to build a fire community around here of producers who really want to work with artists, who really want to make hit songs, who really want to make records, and not just make beats. All right, I'm trying to work with producers. I'm trying to build with producers, not just beat makers. Man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. I'm out.